Here we go!
Give me a break, give me a break.
Go!
Somebody's got it.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Give me a break, give me a break.
What's going on here?
The Sonic the Hedgehog franchise is one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time, with franchises like God of War and Super Mario right behind it. Out of the many franchises from gaming that which I love, Sonic has always been one that stood out to me. I've loved it for so long and still do to this very day. Yes, even through the hiccups as well. This franchise has been a part of my life since I was 4 years old. The moment I first saw this cutscene from Sonic Unleashed on my Wii, I immediately fell in love with this blue creature, and my dad would give the perfect description right here and say, quote, "He's really fast." Truly life-changing words. As he was saying this, with this shot right here, seeing Sonic run toward the camera with that little smirk on his face, I couldn't take my eyes off it. And after that, I would go on to be a very adoring fan of the Sonic series. I'd play the classics on the PS2 with Mega Collection Plus, as well as get more of the Wii games like Secret Rings and then Colors and many more as years went on with more consoles to come. I love the Sonic franchise like no other franchise throughout my life. I got into other franchises as well throughout the years, but Sonic was always one that stood out to me. A franchise I always came back to. But as much as I love video game franchises like Sonic, God of War, Capcom franchises, literally just about everything that is under Nintendo's roof, just to name a few, there is one other franchise I hold very dear to my heart, and it's one of my favorite franchises of all time when it comes to media, and that being none other than the Dragon Ball franchise. Dragon Ball is one that resonates with many. Seriously, go and try to find someone that doesn't love Dragon Ball. If not that, at least knows of it. That's how big this franchise is. Most of the time, you'll hear someone talk about how Dragon Ball was their childhood and whatnot, whether they watched the OG Dragon Ball from the 80s or Dragon Ball Z in the 90s, or saw the remaster/redub Dragon Ball Z Kai on Nicktoons or 4Kids back in the early 2010s. Either way, we all have managed to fall in love with this series in some way, shape, or form. But for me, I never really got into it much when I was a kid. I was too busy watching Sonic X on 4Kids. Not sure if I'm entirely proud of that decision.
No! Please don't run away!
Why do you exist? But while watching those episodes of Sonic X reruns back then, I would see advertisements for Dragon Ball Z Kai on 4Kids. I specifically remember seeing one for the Android Saga because it was this shot right here of them looking down on the island looking for the androids. It was in the form of a coming soon TV spot. I don't remember too much more from the ad other than that, but one other thing I remember with Kai from the end was when one of my Sonic X recordings went off, a piece of a Namek Saga episode came on, and it was when Vegeta was stealing the Dragon Balls from Frieza's ship after getting out of the healing pod. I also remember this TV promo playing during my Sonic X recording at the time, advertising the next episode.
Coming up next, Dragon Ball Z Kai, 1 full hour, 2 out-of-this-world episodes. It's a 3-way crossfire. The good,
Hurry!
the bad, the Dragon Balls are mine, and the ugly. Your power pales in comparison to mine. Dragon Ball Z Kai, 2 awesome episodes, 1 full hour. Coming up next on the CW4 Kids. Tunzai!
Now, as much as I wish those sold me when I was a kid, unfortunately, I didn't jump on the Dragon Ball train. But I will say this, I do remember just sitting there watching Vegeta take the Dragon Balls and running through Frieza's ship and being kinda intrigued a little. And then the recording ended and I never bothered to try to watch the show ever again. But even though I wasn't too sold on Dragon Ball quite yet, Dragon Ball was definitely a franchise I'd see everywhere as a kid. Whether it was on fellow classmates' t-shirts, or someone flat out telling me they watched Dragon Ball Z Kai. I'd also see a lot of Dragon Ball related stuff online, mainly through Sonic. You can kind of already know where this is coming. A lot of the Sonic videos that are on YouTube that are pretty much just Dragon Ball parodies or Sonic just doing a flat out Kamehameha, or even just a Super Sonic transformation literally using the Super Saiyan 3 scene. But even after seeing all that, I still never really saw the appeal before when it came to Dragon Ball. It was only Sonic or Mario for me at the time. If it wasn't the Blue Rat, I wasn't giving it a chance. However, all of that changed when a certain game came out back in 2017, and that was... Okay, I know this is a weird tie-in, but trust me on this. In August of 2017, one of the greatest Sonic games of the 2010s would be released, and that game would be the one and only Sonic Mania. What hasn't been said about Sonic Mania at this point? This game was great back when it came out, and it still is to this very day. I loved this game back then on my Switch, and had so much fun with it, whether I was playing at home, on the go, pretty much anywhere I could play it. I loved Sonic Mania, and so did many other, not just Sonic fans, but many gamers as a whole. Sonic Mania was truly the game Sonic needed at the time, considering where not only the franchise was at the time, but it was also the state of the fan base. All that was out Sonic related was only Sonic Boom, so having this lovely official passion project by fans and for the fans, this was definitely the game the Sonic franchise needed at the time. And man, was it a good one. So why did they try to do it again in 2023? This game is truly one that is absolutely timeless. Sure, it's not like the greatest Sonic game ever, and it does have its hiccups in the game. Like the biggest one is the constant use of old levels throughout the game and lack of more original levels. Although this was forced upon the devs from the higher ups, they managed to make do with it and still make some fantastic levels with these old themes. At the end of the day, Sonic Mania is still a great Sonic game. A game that manages to truly rekindle that classic Sonic gameplay of the 90s into the new generation of gaming with amazing levels, fun bosses, masterpiece of a soundtrack, and much more. This game truly has left an impact on the Sonic franchise, and a lot of people can agree this is a fantastic Sonic game. I mean, heck, it's so good, I bought it 3 times. When Sonic Mania released on all consoles in August of 2017, the game was very well loved as previously stated, but you might have noticed I only said on consoles and not PC, when the game was scheduled for a summer of 2017 release for all consoles and PC. So why did I not mention it? Well, unfortunately, approximately 4 days before the game was scheduled to release on August the 15th, out of nowhere in the middle of the day, at least it was in my time, the Sonic social media managers of the time, being Aaron Weber and Sergio, went live off schedule than their regularly scheduled Thursday streams. They went live on Twitch and YouTube that day to announce some bad news, that being the PC version of Sonic Mania would be getting delayed to August the 29th, but the console versions would still be releasing as regularly scheduled. This definitely sucked for PC players at the time, especially to find out 4 days before the game was meant to come out. At the time, this was the most highly anticipated Sonic game in a long time, next to Sonic Forces, but that didn't really turn out to be good in the end. And a good chunk of Sonic players, including myself, are on PC, so this definitely must have been heartbreaking to hear for PC users. I mean, it didn't affect me at the time because I had it on Switch, so, you know, But after the delay, the PC version of Sonic Mania was finally released, thus allowing more people to be able to finally get their hands on this game who initially wanted it for PC. And of course, people loved playing it here as well, even though there was apparently a thing where you had to be online to play the game at one point, not sure what that was about. But when the PC version of this game came out, not only would it come with some game improvements that would eventually make it to consoles, like the Supersonic button for example, but much like with other Sonic games on PC, this game would also get its fair share of mods available. Mods for Sonic games on PC are one of the best things when it comes to the Sonic community. Modding Sonic games has always been so much fun to do. So many really talented mod creators make a ton of awesome mods for us fans to play, whether adding new levels into Sonic Generations, having new playable characters, giving a new customization menu for Sonic for cosmetics, making Giganto do the Gangnam Style dance in Sonic Frontiers, or simply just fixing Sonic Origins. Either way, modding Sonic games is a whole lot of fun. I've actually talked about modding Sonic games before in the past. Specifically, I've gone over Sonic Generations, and that game's modding scene is crazy, still getting mods to this very day. All in all, Sonic mods, no matter what game, are a ton of fun, and definitely if you have a PC, give it a try. It can honestly change your Sonic game experience a lot, and that was no different for Sonic Mania. After the PC version of the game was released, the really talented mod creators got to work, and would go on to make some of the most amazing mods for this game, like adding more characters from the Sonic series, modern Sonic Mania mods, Super Mario Mania, Hypersonic, as well as other forms. Wait a minute, I don't think I installed this right. Stage mods, Sonic EXE mods, you name it. The modding scene for Sonic Mania was truly awesome, and I love that I got the chance to finally get a chance to play these mods as well after all these years of seeing them being covered. Much like how I did with Generations as a kid, I'd always watch mod cover videos of Sonic Mania and even Sonic Forces back in late 2017 and early 2018, mainly from YouTubers like Kobanermani456 and Super Saiyan Sonic, just to name 2. I'd even watch the work in progress videos from Hortonus all the time as well back then. All in all, mods for Sonic Mania were a ton of fun then, and there's still some great ones getting released to this very day to check out. But when it comes to Sonic mods, there is one section that I didn't mention, and this one is one that everyone loves when it comes to Sonic modding, and that is the Dragon Ball mods. Dragon Ball mods are of course another great factor of mods for Sonic games, whether it's Goku playable in Sonic games or just Sonic getting Goku's transformations. Either way, no matter what kind of mod it is, Dragon Ball mods in Sonic games are so much fun, as well as vice versa. But when it comes to Dragon Ball mods being in Sonic games, the mods were here yet again for Sonic Mania. Some of them that I love are Goku and Vegeta in Sonic Mania and Super Sonic Blue. Now while most of these mods were really cool and whatnot, there was one mod that released in 2018 that would not only be another really cool mod for Sonic Mania, but it would be a mod that really intrigued me. But what was this mod exactly? Well, in order to understand that, we had to look and see what this mod was based upon first. And Where was this mod based upon? Well, it was based on what was currently happening in Dragon Ball Super at the time. Back in late 2017, Dragon Ball Super was in the Tournament of Power arc that had been airing for quite some time. Meanwhile, here in the States, it seems like the Goku Black Saga was just happening for the dub. I'm not 100% sure, again, because I wasn't a fan yet. But later in 2017, a form was revealed in the Tournament of Power that would not only be a cool moment for Dragon Ball fans, but would break the internet as a whole. Ultra Instinct. This was a form that absolutely broke not only the Dragon Ball fandom, but the internet as a whole. This form was the most shocking form of Goku in a long time. While previous forms from Dragon Ball Super are cool in their own ways, this one was different. The reveal of it from when Goku seemed like he was dead from the Spirit Bomb, to then later on a glowing beam strikes from the crater where the Spirit Bomb exploded, to then us and the characters realizing Goku isn't dead, and gets back up on the battlefield to reveal a brand new form, not to mention the pure silence of Goku and the epic music to follow up with the next few scenes. Ultra Instinct truly was a moment to remember for those who were there. I unfortunately don't remember because I wasn't a fan of the series, but I would catch a glimpse of it thanks to a YouTuber I loved, and probably a lot of you loved back then too, that being Kobanermani456. Now, Kobe did cover a number of Dragon Ball related things on his channel before, like mods and Sonic games, and even Xenoverse 1 mods, but in December of 2017, he covered the mod from Hortonus being the Ultra Instinct mod for Sonic Mania. But I didn't see his video on the coverage of the mod. I know, you're wondering, when the heck do I get into this franchise? Well, we're almost there. Months go by and it's now 2018. The Tournament of Power saga is almost at an end and a new form has come from Goku, that being the reveal of Master Ultra Instinct. And when this form appeared, this of course broke the internet yet again. And you also know that Sonic fans, aka Hortonus, yet again made a mod for Ultra Instinct. And this time he took his modern Sonic Mania mod that was already been out for quite some time and was very well loved within the Sonic community. With this modern Sonic Mania mod, he made the Mastered Ultra Instinct Sonic mod. Now this mod, ladies and gentlemen, is where it all starts for me. So that begs the next question, that being, where and how did I find this mod? Well, yet again, thanks to Kobe. Around this time, I was massively keeping up to date with new uploads from Kobe in early 2018. Not to say I never did before in the past, but here in 2018, I was actually really keeping up to date with actual new uploads and whatnot. But in early 2018, I caught this video when it came out, and I was so curious by it. First of all, another Kobe video covering a new Sonic mod, so I was already going to click it. But in the video, Kobe described Mastered Ultra Instinct Sonic to be like Hypersonic as a joke, but that got me intrigued a little. Then Kobe played through the mod, and I heard this song.
同時にヤンキースな神様のように様々なシェンが食える All day, all night そういうためにかなっちゃうけれど
This song really interested me, not only because of the way it sounded, but generally because I've never heard a song like this before. And hearing it in the background while Kobe was singing the song, I really liked it.
勇気 Gimme gimme power 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 意味を目覚ませ何度うちのメサリオと熱くとちやかれだからバリバリパワー人生の夢よ守りのくてめに走らせなかをもらうで Hero. Yo, I love this theme so much. I love this theme so much. It's so good.
And I often find myself coming back to this one video just so I could see Kobe play this cool mod and hear that song. I don't know why I didn't just look up the song back then, but whatever. It's crazy to me because if he didn't request that one song change from the mod creator himself, then I don't think I'd get as invested as I did then. But after seeing that mod cover video from Kobe, I then look at the other Dragon Ball Sonic mod videos Kobe did. I watched the one with Super Sonic Blue, the original Ultra Instinct Sonic mod video from back in December of 2017. I'd even watch his mod coverage of Goku in Sonic Generations. So after watching all of that, we all know how the lovely YouTube algorithm works. I got more of the mod recommended to me, mainly through the creator himself, Hortonus, and it would be here I'd hear the ultimate theme itself being Ultimate Battle. Now when I first heard this version that was being played in the mod, I thought it was a little weird to me, but it's not bad, but I just thought it was kind of off. But then I'd hear Kagi's cover soon after, and man, was this amazing. I loved the way this sounded so much. It sounded so cool, it's so powerful. I remember seeing this image of Goku and hearing the lyrics. This sounded like something straight out of Dragon Ball to me. And I've never even heard nor seen anything from this show that much before until now. After listening to this cover and a few others afterwards, one day while listening to more instrumental covers of Ultimate Battle, I then stumbled upon an animation of Sonic going Mastered Ultra Instinct against Infinite. I'd watch that animation and just be intrigued because I was questioning, is this based on the actual show? And well, not more than a few minutes after watching that animation, I would then stumble upon the actual scene itself of Goku going Mastered Ultra Instinct against Jiren. Now at first I didn't know why it was in Japanese. That was mainly me just not knowing that the Japanese version was airing first and then the English one wouldn't air till like a year later. But I didn't really care because I was genuinely intrigued with the scene. Seeing the exact moment where this mod came from genuinely made me actually start to care about Dragon Ball. As weeks went on, I'd stumble upon the Worlds Collide Flash animation on YouTube. I'd be really invested in this series, much like how I was with other Flash animations like Super Mario Bros. Z. I'd watch a lot of Worlds Collide and just be really intrigued seeing Sonic and Goku team up. And as I'd watch these, I'd be seeing Goku, and that just made me want to learn more about the character and more of the world that Goku was from. After seeing that series, I'd start wanting to look for the actual hero song again, but when looking for it, after going through a number of English covers, I then found this AMV right here. And I remember watching this and seeing the Dragon Ball characters in action in the Battle of Gods movie, and just loving what I was seeing with this epic AMV. And after that, I'd find more clips from Dragon Ball starting to pop up on my YouTube recommendation, from Universe 7's Last Stand to Kid Goku shenanigans. And one viewing of Goku accidentally instant transitioning into Bulma's room, I was hooked on the series. Scene after scene after scene, I was in love with almost every single scene I was seeing on YouTube back in 2018. I think it's safe to say now I officially finally got onto the Dragon Ball train after so long, all thanks to this one mod from Sonic Mania. Without this mod, I would not be the massive Dragon Ball fan I am today. I thank both of these people in the Sonic community. A, this person creating the mod, and B, this person covering the mod. Without either of them, I never would have given Dragon Ball that chance, nor would have had that intrigue. And thankfully, because both of them were doing what they love, I managed to fall in love with a brand new franchise, with a franchise I already loved dearly. But even with recent projects like Sparking Zero and Daima, they make me see how much I'm no less of a fan than when I first got into this franchise all those years ago. And I owe it all to this wonderful mod here, and these wonderful creators who allowed me to see this mod. This mod is not only fantastic and really fun to play, but it managed to make me find my love for Dragon Ball and consider it one of my favorite franchises from the moment I fell in love with it back in 2018. As 2018 and beyond, I would go on to love Dragon Ball, and you know what? I think you guys can figure out the rest. Destroy my world!